Well, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to present another expanded deck. This is a lightning deck built around Vikavolt V that rotated recently, so you very well may remember it. It's a basic V Pokemon, gives up 2 prizes, 210 HP, and 2 attacks. The one that this deck's really going for is the first attack, Paralyzing Bolt. It does 50 damage for 2 energy, one of which is a lightning. And it does besides 50 damage, then during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from their hands. So it item locks your opponent. The way this deck is built, we're hoping to pull off Paralyzing Bolt on turn 1, going second, in which case then your opponent is locked out of items, hopefully from turn 2 on, making it very difficult for them to get set up. We do have Super Zap Cannon for 190, where you discard 2 energy off of it for 3 energies. Is also a useful attack, but also we have a couple of different ways to increase the damage so that even Paralyzing Bolt will start to knock out Pokemon pretty quickly. So that's the goal, slow down our opponent, get ourselves set up to where we're doing some big damage. So obviously one of the cards that put in here is Regieleki VMAX, right, with its Transistor ability. Your basic lightning Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. We play a 3/3 line of that. So that is one way to get the damage up by up to 30 by 90 more. So that would get up to 140. You can attack with it for 220, and the V's attack is also useful, particularly Lightning Wall for 3 energy. It does 100 damage, but then it takes 100 less damage next turn from your opponent's attack. So that's useful. We play 2 copies of Miraidon EX, largely for tandem unit that just really lets you set up nicely, right? Once during your turn, you may search your deck for the 2 basic lightning Pokemon, put them onto your bench, shuffle your deck. And certainly the attack is very useful. Photon Blaster does 220, the same as the VMAX, but this is boosted by Regieleki VMAX, so you can get up to, 310 potentially. Certainly getting up to 280 is pretty easy with it. And now during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack, so you need to have a switch card or something like that. Then we also play Dedenne-GX, just 1 copy. We can attack with it. We could even use the GX attack if we chose, but it's mainly here for Dedenne change, right? Discard your hand when you play it onto the bench and draw 6 cards. So really nice for setting up. And we play a Prism Star, Tapu Koko Prism Star, which of course you can only have 1 copy of since it's a Prism Star. It does have an attack 120 for 3 on nature, which may be useful, but it's primarily here for its ability to dance to the Ancients once during your turn. If this Pokemon is on your bench, you may choose up to 2 of your bench Pokemon and attach a Lightning Energy card from your discard pile to each of them. If you do this, discard all cards from this Pokemon and put it in the Lost Zone. So accelerates 2 energy to 1 energy to 2 of your bench Pokemon, goes in the Lost Zone, so it doesn't, quote, knock itself out, so your opponent doesn't take any prizes. You just lose it from play for the rest of the game. Not bad, right? A nice way to accelerate energy. We're playing 14 basic energy. I have considered putting in Speed Lightning Energy because that is a nice draw, but with Electric Generator, which you shouldn't be surprised that I play that, I kept it all to the basic Lightning, 14 copies. With my Miraidon deck, I prefer to play 15 or maybe even 16, but getting deck space for this couldn't quite get that many in. And honestly, since we're largely trying to attack with Vikavolt's Paralyzing Bolt for 2 energy, hitting a few less energy is okay. So going through the trainers, a lot of them are standard ones or recently rotated, a couple of older ones too. 4 Ultra Ball, obviously searching out the Pokemon we need. 1 Raihan to get back to accelerate the energy to one of your Pokemon after you've been knocked out and search for any 1 card. Quite nice. 4 Quick Ball to get our Pokemon in play. Also, we do want to get energy in the discard with Quick Ball and Ultra Ball in order to use the Tapu Koko Prism Star. We want to get 2 energies in the discard for that. 1 Stormy Mountain, a useful stadium, and a bump if there's path in play. It allows you to search your deck for basic Lightning or basic Dragon Pokemon. Put it on your bench, so nice for setting up. Again, 2 Escape Rope and 2 Air Balloon for switching cards, because with Miraidon EX we need to switch. You might want to switch other times also. 4 Electric Generator, just a terrific card to accelerate it. Look at the top 5. Attach 2 basic energy to your bench Pokemon. Great for acceleration. 1 Guzma BUS, but you also switch your own Pokemon with the bench. Also quite useful. 1 Heavy Ball Hisuian Heavy Ball. 1 Forest Seal Stone. We have the V Pokemon, but none of them are V stars, so Forest Seal Stone is just a natural include. 3 Marnie for disruption, 4 research, just obviously to help get set up, and then a couple of the older cards, Electropower, a really nice item card. During a turn, during this turn after you play it, your lightning Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So similar to the Regieleki VMAX, but it also boosts Regieleki VMAXs. So and obviously it can stack with the Regieleki VMAX. So your Vikavolt V first attack can get into good range where you're probably not one-shotting big Pokemon, but you can be two-shotting them. And knocking them out with 2 hits, and with their ability lock, item lock, it makes it pretty tough for them. Then we also play a Thunder Mountain. The attacks of your lightning Pokemon cost 1 lightning less, so that is quite useful. You can only play 1 copy as a Prism Star, and when it's bumped, it goes into the Lost Zone, so it can't recover it. But it cannot be bumped by an item or supporter, only really by another stadium, or the effect of an attack, too, or a Pokemon ability, too, would do that. So that's the deck. Like I said, it is built around Vikavolt V, and if I get the choice, I will go second with the deck, hoping to pull off the attack turn 1. There are more powerful builds of Lightning where it uses Pikarom, Pikachu, and Zekrom GX Tag Team. This is kind of a fun build, I thought. Want to give it a try. So I will call heads, and like I said, if I get the choice, I will go second. So I say no. You get into in standard, you want to go first so much, you just say yes. I gotta just re-educate yourself to go second. Miraidon EX, not bad. I do have Air Balloon and Rope, so this is a very nice start. Electric Generator. So it looks to me like I can Vikavolt next turn. I expect to be able to, right? Miraidon, I'll get the Vikavolt on the bench, and I imagine a Regieleki V down, and I will item lock my opponent. Eldegoss V, not the starter they wanted, I have to imagine, because it's on playability, with the supporter from the discard pile into hand. There are control decks that play this also, so I have to be aware of that. Let's see what they're getting into play here. Trying to get a sense. So they play Nets, which obviously are a nice card. So this is an ADP deck. Okay, very powerful for sure. So I want to keep the ADP on the bench by item locking. If ADP sets up, that's going to be scary. So hopefully I can keep them from getting things going. That's the thought here. So I have Vikavolt. I do have Forest Seal Stone also. Quite nice. So Regieleki, Vikavolt. This is quite nice. So I will Electric Generator. Hit nothing, so that's not good. 56. So what do I want to do here? I attach Air Balloon, Forest Seal Stone on him. All right, I could get my Stadium too, right? My Stadium guarantees me attack, so I will do that. I will grab my Stadium, assuming it's not prized. Yep, get my Stadium down. A very nice start, and I could boost my damage this turn. Let me think. What am I doing right now? Right now I'm doing 50, 60, 70, 80. I'm going to sit on those, though, because that's what I want to do. So they are item locked, so that's quite nice. The green arrow on the Stadium is why. It's just a little odd. Is that because it's immune to supporters? I'm confused by the green arrow on the Thunder Mountain. That usually means it could, I guess that's because it's helping my lightning Pokemon. So they researched. So they need to get switched. They didn't choose to switch that turn, so that's interesting. Right, they could have gotten their ADP into the active if they thought they were going to draw a water energy. So I want to, let's see, 50. So I don't have knockout still, so I think, what do I want to get down here? I don't have any energy in the discard, so not Tapu Koko V. I will toss down Regieleki in another Vikavolt in case he gets knocked out, keeping the one bench space open. I will just attack for 50 more. I can knock out my opponent next turn with Electropower, right? I just need to play one of them. I could wait, though, also, right? Keeping them item locked and the ADP on the bench isn't bad, right? So they're digging through quite nicely, I guess. So now they have water energy, so that's scary. So now they can get off ADP's attack next turn, right? All right, so 220. So I want to, I believe, I'm going to attach to Miraidon EX. Right now I just want to keep them item locked at this point. I want to slow them down on utilizing ADP. That's part of it also, right? ADP, I want to be able to knock out ADP as soon as... All right, so now they can retreat. They're going to do... All right, so that's difficult for me, right? So alter creation, quite nice there. I think I'm going to go for the Dedenne change, for Dedenne and Dedenne change. I need switch and I don't want to rope because I would like to knock out the ADP, right? So I will boost the damage here because that's quite nice for me. Play Dedenne. Now Dedenne is scary because they will one-shot him. That is exactly what I needed, though. So now I take out the ADP with my Miraidon, right? So it's doing 280 already. So I don't need to play my other power tile. Let's see what I have. Okay. So I'm just going to attack, right? Take my prizes. He can't attack next turn, so I'll have to get an energy into play. Yes, they have Alter Creation, which is scary for me. But the fact that they... big sound effect in my headset from the Metal Pokemon becoming active. We'll see what happens here. So the game's going nicely for me. The item lock slowing them down, I certainly do think helped things for sure. Obviously, they're not item locked this turn, so they need to take advantage of that. Let's see. They played 2 Metal Saucers. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully I don't get knocked out, but if I do, I do, right? I probably will retreat. At this point, if the stadium's in play, I can retreat, attach to Vikavolt, and attack with him. So they're getting energy from hand. Makes sense there. Attaching to Zacian, so they need a switch in a Metal Saucer, and they could attack, which I would not like. I don't think they're going to pull that off, though, in which case I will take another prize next turn, right, with my Vikavolt V, as things look right now, because I can attach 1 energy to Vikavolt. I have Electropower to knock him out, get my Miraidon on the bench, which then could attack the following turn. Uh-oh. They might... all right, so now all they have to do is scoop or all right, they have switch, so they're going to get the knockout. I don't love that, I gotta say. But that should not be a shock that that's happening either. So what do I have here, right? I have a number of ways to pull this off, though. I think I'm out of Miraidons, right? So I will send up a Regieleki. I have access to the VMAX. What am I going to do here? I really would like to knock him out. That's what I want to do here, right? So I'll get rid of one of these guys. And get rid of the V. I don't remember the count of things. So I do have Tapu Koko also, which maybe I should have done that. Okay, so I could do that Tapu Koko next turn, right? Tapu Koko, and then so one, although I could accelerate to Tapu Koko too also, right? I will Tapu Koko. I want to accelerate to 2 Pokemon, 190. So maybe I attack with Vikavolt, knock them out, right? I think that's my play. Dance of the Ancients, Vikavolt V, and what do I want to do? And I'll have my other Vikavolt V, right? That should be okay. I will retreat into Vikavolt V with Air Balloon. He's doing 80, or with this second energy, he's now doing 220. Save my Electropower. I can't attack next turn with him, but I do have my other Vikavolt, so I should, right, decent chance to attack next turn. At this point, I can definitely attack for the low damage, which will take out a Jirachi, because that does 80 at this point, and can do 110 with the Electropower and the Regieleki VMAX, right? So 50 plus 30, 80 on the Vikavolt V for 2 energy. We'll see what happens. I could get Marnied, and then we'll see what happens. I don't have a big hand, so it's not a bad hand, though. So I probably prefer to keep it, but see what happens. So the key thing with ADP here is when the ADP wants to obviously alter creation quickly, and but then they also, which they weren't able to do because I slowed them down with the Vikavolt, right? And then the other thing ADP wants to do is attack with ADP the following turn, which then accelerates energies onto the Zacian, so the Zacian can really smack into me for big damage. And obviously I took out the ADP right after the alter creation, so then it's not a bad trade-off. So we'll see what happens with my opponent here. I probably send up the VMAX so I'm knocked out. The downs, the reason I might not want to, no, I think I want to do that. As long as my stadium doesn't get bumped. No, it probably doesn't matter. If the Regieleki VMAX stays on the bench, then I could Electric Generator to it, right? That's what I'm thinking. Do I want an Electric Generator to it as an option? So they probably are just delaying at this point. What have they had? So they have one more Metal Saucer in deck, possibly. So Boss. That's not bad, though. Actually, I have game at this point, right? So they want to use the Boss. I'm not sure that was the right move because I can attack for 50 now, and I mean I have game, right? They don't know. I have energy in hand, which means I get to 190, and I already have a VMAX down, so I'm at 220, right? I do believe. I discard both energy, but that's okay. I guess leaving that Vikavolt. Actually, if they left that Vikavolt in the active, it was a worse situation for me to be in, right? Because I needed 2 energy. So I have game here. So good game by my opponent. Not sure that they really made the best play the one turn. So I will just attack for game there. As I could have played the other Electropower, but you know, if the game didn't tell me the damage numbers, I might do that just to be safe, right? But so there we go. Vikavolt there up against ADP is always solid. So, but able to win that game again. The Vikavolt with the buffs doing enough damage. Okay, used up, but also the slowing down because of the Vikavolt V. The item lock was important to that win too, I think. So let's jump in, see another game if we can here. See how the deck can perform, hopefully against another opponent with a different deck. Obviously, with expanded, there's less players, so that might be why it's taking time. The computer, I think, doesn't want to match me up with the same opponent. I didn't pay enough attention to the last game as to who my opponent was. I got to say, I don't think that's the name, but I don't exactly remember. That's an interesting coin there. 6 of the Pokemon types on the coin. So see what my opponent does. There's a good. If I go first, it's okay. I prefer to go second, and my opponent goes first, which most decks still want to go first. There are more decks that expand that want to go second, though, also. So I will put my V in the active. All right, so this is a deck I've been looking at. So Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, which gets up to 300 damage pretty nicely. I am weak to them, so that's a big concern, right? So they don't even need to bump up their damage that much. They could win because I am weak to them for sure. But if I can take out the V this turn, which I have a decent chance to do, and they also have the advantage in expanded of using the DCE. In standard, you just can use the double turbo energy, which reduces by 20. In expanded, the double colorless energy does not reduce the damage at all. So they can power up with a single energy and do full damage to me. So what I will do is I will thin this deck down as much as possible. I have to, that's one plan for sure. I want to attach Forest Seal Stone here. I do have rope. I don't think I want to use the rope because I want to take out the Zoroark, right? That's the play. That's definitely the preferred play. That's because if they can't get down another Zoroark this turn, and I take out the only one in play, then they can't really do much damage the next turn. But let's see what they get down. But they're getting another Zoroark down, which makes sense. I still think I want to take out the Zoroark if possible. So they have 2 Gengars, so that is 2 Pokemon with damage they're going to get down for sure. I'll have to think about this. I want to use Electric Generator for sure. I want to thin my deck as much as I can first. Okay, so not, all right, so they didn't play the second one, which is fine. Put him down. I mean, I could pull out the Dedenne also, right? I do have that as an option. Not with this, but with my Ultra Ball, right? But I don't play a lot of supporters, so I think only 11 energy is in deck, so that's not great either. So I want to get down a Vikavolt and a Regieleki. I will attach to the V here. Get rid of, I don't want a rope. Get rid of this Ultra Ball in case I decide I want to throw down this Regieleki, right? I'll grab a Vikavolt. It's going to kind of fill things up here. I shouldn't have played that, should I? All right, getting 2 energy, so that's quite nice also. Miraidon. I can manually attach. I do have my Forest Seal Stone, so I'm pretty confident, good, that I can get the knockout this turn. I do have Thunder Mountain. I think I want to save that, though, right? So I'll save that. I will... maybe I should have waited to attach. I should have waited to attach that energy, right? I have Air Balloon, though, so that's okay. But I should have gone and made sure I had Air Balloon into play before I made that attachment. That was a mistake on my part. I do have Electropower, but I don't need that. So I'll take 2 prizes. They're probably going to take 2 prizes. They might not, though, right? They're not guaranteed. I do have Rope, which could prove to be useful also. All right, because I knew I had several energies prized. I think I have 1 more energy in the prize, I believe. No energy in the discard yet, so I can't use Tapu Koko. I also can't play Tapu Koko. I filled up my bench, which I did because I want to maximize the odds of hitting the 2 energy on an electric generator, which I did. So I think I'm glad for that. But one result of that is, all right. So I filled up my bench, so I lost access to the Dedenne and such, which is okay. If I'm active is knocked out, they need to evolve and hit an energy, right? Those are their things. All right, so they're evolving here, evolving with the energy. They do have knockout. They're down 2 energy though, so I like that, right? Wait, they have 3 DCE, and that's bad, right? That's bad for them. It's good for me. Right, so Gape Draw Bog. I can bump the stadium if I need to, but they're going to get knockout. So it's going to be hard for me to get knockout here, right? It's not impossible, of course. They're at 260. So I can do Vikavolt does 190. Miraidon might be, I could get my other Miraidon EX into play. That might be what I want to do here. I only need 2 energy on it, right? Let me think. 220, 30, 40, 50. That's a nice play, too. I'm going to bump their stadium first. That's quite nice. I will lay. So let's think here. If I do 190, 210, 250, so I come up just shy, which I don't like that at all, do I? No, I really don't. So what do I do here? I think I might research here, right? Might just research. I don't know if I want to research. I lose my Tapu Koko, but I just need one more energy on Miraidon, right? And I have knockouts. So let me play this. Let me manually attach. Let me research. See what happens here. All right, well, this is quite nice. So I have a couple chances, and that's good enough. 220. It attacks for one less, so I will retreat into him. I'm doing 280, so I think I'll just attack. Do I want to accelerate to a Vikavolt? I get that's my other question, right? Let me try accelerating. So I like that also. I'll just kind of thin. All right, and my opponent conceded. They saw that I had knockout, and I was still setting up my next turn because I didn't have game that turn, right? But I was in a dominant position. So this Vikavolt deck, right? It is fun, right? Item locking your opponent. It's fun. It's very disruptive. Makes life tough for them. Can certainly get to the numbers you need to knock out Vs, and even you could see getting to the V star level with the Miraidon EX is an option. Getting even with the Vikavolt V to a V level for damage, not bad. And just you can always disrupt with doing like 90 or 120 with, say, your Vikavolt turn after turn and stop your opponent from playing items. Pretty effective. So I found it to be a fun deck. I might want to take a look at it and give it a try if you want. Take care.